Hello, everybody. We're back from IMN Denver, and we're now with Stephen Weinstock with We Capital. Welcome to the show, Steve.
Thank you for having me.
Stephen, you had a panel earlier on, just ended, like literally 10 minutes ago. What was the panel about? Would you want to share what were the topics of the panel?
Sure. There were other investors on the panel, multifamily investors. We were discussing the market conditions, how some of the tough times we're having recently are affecting their strategies, what they're doing to move forward. Do they still have deals in their pipeline? What are they doing to get more deals? How are they exploring alternative financing, especially in a tough market that some of us are having the last few years?
What would you say are the top three takeaways from the conversations that you had on panel?
It seems that from the panelists that development is something that is, well, it's always a good asset class to do. But you're having a lot of people now who were previously invested in multifamily by buying or investing in existing assets, where they're now focusing on development, where they think that, it might take 2 or 3 years for the property to finish off. And by then, we should be in a better space.
As far as what you personally see in 2024 and beyond, what are some trends and what are some opportunities in the current market?
So in general, I'm very optimistic. I always am, just the way I'm wired. If you asked me a year ago, a year and a half ago, I would say the rates would be, coming down a little within a year. If you ask me today, I might say the same thing. I'm hoping this election, regardless of who wins, things will be better for real estate investors, specifically interest rates, more capital opens up, but it's hard to predict elections. I could try to, predict who's going to win, who's not going to win. But, I'll leave that for the Vegas bettors.
Now, based on who's going to win, do you think that for real estate investors, for the real estate and multifamily investor market, do you think that, the situation is going to play differently?
Yes, I do think that if Trump wins the White House, that it'll be more beneficial for real estate investors. I do think that you do have real estate investors who might know that, but might not necessarily vote for him because there's other issues that they deem more important to them. But I am more confident that if he were to win, the economy should improve. He is a real estate guy. He does see trickle-down effects, and he obviously has a soft place in his heart for real estate. So I think if he wins, the headwinds will start shifting in a more positive. It's hard to predict, if he gets Jerome Powell to, move it down a little, will it have an instant effect? But I think some of the energy that his presidency could spur with the economy should help real estate investors.
Steven, let's try to look, let's pull your crystal ball out of the box and let's try to look 2025 and beyond, regardless of who wins the election. How do you see the next 2-3 years playing for multifamily investors?
Sure. So like I said before, I'm generally optimistic. Rents typically go up. Assets typically go up in value. Inflation sometimes helps the assets, go up in value. Same with the rents. As a real estate investor only, with inflation, it's worth $12 million. But my loan that I had in place is still the same. The rents, where I was getting $1,000 an apartment, just because of inflation, I can get $1,300, $1,400. So as an investor only, inflation is a good thing. When I go to the supermarket, I don't enjoy it as much.
Yeah, it's a very interesting concept, and I'm glad you're explaining, because at the end of the day, if you have a fixed rate, your mortgage stays the same. You just make more income because, through inflation, the rents are going to go up, just like everything else goes up.
I agree. Anybody who had assets with a loan on it for, say, $1 million 3 years ago, and if inflation went up 10%, they automatically got a 10% haircut on their loan. So yes, the number is still $1 million, but that million is really only worth 900,000, and they benefit. Certain people benefit during distress. Real estate owners are still paying more for groceries, etc. But if they have enough assets, they could weather the storm.
Steven, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us today. And I hope to get you back on our full episode of Multifamily Hangout.
My pleasure. Thank you.